Big D sanitation.
So I was going through my video and photo for this day, and then I noticed on the sign that it says 23 hours service. So I'm kind of wondering, like, what's the 1 hour that they don't cover service on? On what I think is a more interesting note, I want to talk about Devil's Tower. There's an interesting debate because a lot of people climb Devil's Tower, but it's also a significant religious site to the Native American community. You can obviously see the climber heading up the mountain in this photo, but you can also see as you walk around Devil's Tower that there's these prayer flags left by probably Lakota in this case. To give you a little background on climbing Devil's Tower, it was first climbed on July 4th, 1893 by William Rogers and Willard Ripley, who were local ranchers in the area. And they completed the first ascent basically making a ladder out of wooden pegs that they drove into the rock face of Devil's Tower. I know that I'm doing the same pan from like the bottom to the top of Devil's Tower, but I'm going with what the footage I have, and I'm trying to get better at this, so bear with me as I do a couple more pans for you. I will say that it does make me feel better that the phone calls it the Ken Burns effect, and since she's such a good filmmaker, it makes me feel that I'm like super professional. As more and more people started climbing Devil's Tower, numerous Native groups talked about how this was super disrespectful as a culturally significant site to them. And so recently they've had a voluntary June closure where they ask climbers not to climb up Devil's Tower, but that doesn't actually stop people from doing it. So I should probably give you like a little bit of my personal background, but I'm like a trail runner. I've recently picked up climbing. I have some friends who've actually climbed Devil's Tower, but then also when I graduated from college, I did 2 years in Teach for America, and I taught out on the Rosebud Indian Reservation in South Dakota and taught a classroom full of Lakota students. And so it's an interesting question when you think about climbing this culturally significant site. And the easiest way that I can explain it to people is imagine if you went to church and on Sunday somebody thought that it would be really exciting to climb up to the top of your church's steeple because it was really beautiful, and it was amazing to look down at the stained glass in the church from the top. And so every Sunday people would climb up to the top of it to look down at it while people were, there praying or going through their service. And obviously that doesn't happen, right? Like, you don't see people climbing to the top of churches, but that's kind of what's happening here is the Native Americans have this site that's like a church to them, and we have climbers who are just like, whatever, like, I'm gonna go up it because it's got some sweet slabs of rock, which I get it. I love being in the outdoors. I love going out on trails, but I think sometimes there's maybe some things that we should just let them be. So I don't think I have the answer, but I do, and I did think about that a lot last time that I was out visiting Devil's Tower. I definitely don't have all the answers, but I did have to drive from Devil's Tower out to Grand Teton, so here's the rest of that. I'm so very tired. It's the first time on the trip that I've broken down and done this. I don't feel good about it. I bought an energy drink.